The family was so poor that they could only afford to eat at discount buffets. When they wanted to lay sod in their yard, they had to steal grass in the middle of the night, and they didn't even spare the grass from the cemetery. Looking at the sod in front of their door, the couple just felt a wave of helplessness wash over them. But just a week ago, this family had been the envy of everyone as a wealthy household. The man was a dedicated office worker who had been in the same position for a full 15 years. One day, the president's secretary asked him to go to the 51st floor to discuss something. You see, in their company, the higher the floor, the higher the position. Since he started working there, the man had never been to a floor above the 5th. But this time, he was asked to go to the 51st floor for a meeting. He was so excited that he danced around in the elevator, his heart pounding like a drum. He imagined that he was about to experience a major turning point in his life, and his face was filled with uncontrollable joy. When he arrived at the top floor, the CFO greeted him personally, shaking his hand warmly with a big smile on his face. The boss even took him out for a fancy meal and then promoted him to vice president right on the spot. He rushed home and excitedly told his wife the good news. The next day, they went into debt to buy a luxury villa and spend a fortune on sod for the yard. However, the first thing the man had to do as vice president was to give an interview to a TV station. When the TV station asked him, "Why did your boss sell all the company's stocks?" the man was completely bewildered because he had never heard of it. The company's stock price had already dropped from $100 to just 1 cent. The man's heart sank to the bottom like a stone. When the man hurried back to the company, the employees had already started grabbing things to pay off their debts. He learned from the finance manager that the company had been cooking the books for years, and he was just the scapegoat the company had set up to take the blame. He rushed to find the boss for a solution, but the boss was already sitting in a helicopter, getting ready to leave. The man had only experienced being a vice president for 1 day before becoming unemployed. When he got home, his wife was having workers dig a hot spring in the yard, with a $20,000 hot spring device sitting on the sod. At that moment, his wife told him another piece of good news: she had quit her job.